Hi, this is Jim Myrick with the Myrick & Young Real Estate Team. We have our continued series on loan modifications with Mike Mendoza, and we want to talk a little bit about, so your service is a loan modification service, okay? So we understand that there's a lot of things to be kind of worry about that. A lot of people used to do that.
Right.
Now, what makes your service, first of all, what's the results that you had, and how is yours different that within the scope of the law?
Right. Well, 3 years ago when this started, the Department of Real Estate required that realtors, who I have a broker's license, I'm a realtor, had to register with them, and they also had to provide a contract that they would approve that would state that we could charge an advance fee. So in other words, someone would come to us, we'd say, this is our fee, you pay that, and then we work on your modification.
Okay.
However, unfortunately, a lot of people abused that system, and people weren't getting the results.
Got it.
And they were not getting modifications, they were losing their houses and paying lots and lots of money.
Right.
So that all went away, and so most people got out of the business because it's a very stressful, frustrating business, to say the least. But some of us like to hang in there. And so now what we do is we charge for the services that have been completed. So in other words, when someone comes to me, I don't charge, I review everything, I talk to the bank, I get everything packaged and ready to go, because my goal is to make sure that they're getting the service that they want, that they're going to get a modification. I don't want to say I'm going to charge you for something that's not going to materialize. And I'm very honest with people. If they really are not going to qualify, I will tell them right then and there, and then they can decide what to do. It could very well be a short sale. Or maybe they hang in there and make their payments waiting for some new programs to come that will benefit them.
Got it.
So, so that's how we handle reviewing the files and then charging for services.
So give me a little bit about your results. So if, I'm a big stats guy. I have 10 guys come in to you.
People don't believe this, but we get about 95% approved.
Wow.
And that's because we do, just like, I worked as a mortgage broker for many years for a bank, going on almost 30 years. So when you apply for a loan, you go to a loan officer, they're going to review your information, and then they'll send it to their underwriter. If they know it's not going to get approved, they're not going to waste the underwriter's time and the bank's time. They're just going to say, you don't qualify for what you're looking for, and that's the end of it.
Okay.
Well, kind of the same thing with us is we make sure that you're going to qualify for the program before we continue with it.
Before you even start. So,
and that's why we have a very high success rate. And the very few that end up not getting approved, we battled many of them that have been declined and gotten approved afterwards. Sometimes it's a matter of, kind of battling with the bank. But in rare cases, I see that the banks sometimes have investors, because people may not realize, if you go to Bank of America, for example, the loan isn't owned by Bank of America. It could be owned by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, it could be owned by an insurance company. There's different investors in the background, and sometimes they will determine whether a modification can be completed or not.
Got it.
But we usually try to find that ahead of time and not, down the road. So you go right from the start.
So what makes your service kind of work there, what it looks like, is that before you even move forward, you review all the documents, before you charge anything, before whatever you do. Okay.
And sometimes people have to be prepared before we take on a case. Just like when you're getting ready to buy a house, you might not be ready, you might not have your down payment, your income, your credit, and everything all balanced. So I'll explain to people what they need to do. One simple example is if someone were to use room rent, let's say they've got family or friends or they're renting a room or two, the bank requires 2 months of evidence of that. So if someone comes into my office today and just collects cash and has no proof of it, then we need to wait a little bit till they put that money into their checking account.
Got it.
And then I ask for bank statements, and we clearly see 500 going in every month. And so that's just a simple example.
Got it. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, you can see the information scrolling on the screen now, our phone number and our website. And also we have a forum that's on this site too, that if you have any, if you want to request any kind of information. But Again, thank you, Michael, for coming.
Sure.
And that concludes our series, and give us a call.